Excited to be here, guys. Today I'm going to talk to you about multi-directional movements, which is essentially what surfing is, and how important it is to understand the mechanics of making sure you're strong enough so your body can facilitate a strong multi-directional movement. So when we surf, where our feet are like glued into the board and I'm twisting to turn. So it's the twist that enables the turn, along with some balance work, a little bit of lean, but majority of it's from twisting and weight shifting from side to side. So today we're going to talk about more so the multi-directional movement, which is the twisting. So movement today is, I'm going to do one with the Swiss ball, so one with a bit of weight, one with a bit of load, and then and one without. So I'm going to go through the one without at the moment. So I'm showing some examples of multi-directional movements on the board. So for example, like a roundhouse cutback, you'll know you get into a lot of positions through that turn itself, along with every turn. A bottom turn, top turn is very much a multi-directional movement, and then you've got lots of other things like floaters and top turns like snaps and whatnot. Essentially everything you do when you surf is a multi-directional movement, and it's on an unstable surface, so it's even more challenging. So today we're going to be working on a stable surface. We'll add some instability as time goes on, but today this is a good one for everyone to start off with. So we've all done our basic lunge, where we lunge forward and squat down and then push to come up. So from here, I'm making sure when I lunge, I step and then I drop down. And I get to this 90-degree position here, and I push up back to a standing position. So I'm going to inhale forward, push to come back up. So if I go side on for you, I lunge and then drop down. Notice my toes are active, my heel's pointing up, my chest is over the top of my knee essentially, and it's a nice straight line. I'm not lunging forward like this, I'm keeping my head and shoulders open and over the top of my hips. From here, I use the leg that I've lunged on to push up back to a standing position. So inhale, control, stabilize, push up. So as I'm lunging forward, I'm controlling my descent down, and as I push back, I'm exploding out, which is, again, is very similar to what we do when we're surfing. For example, when I bottom turn, I'm going to inhale, come down, slowly come up and explode and twist into my movement. I'm going to go from side to side now, so that will look like lunge, push, switching sides. Okay, now this is just a nice one to do, just to warm up for this sequence of turns. You can do like just one set of 8 to 10 on each side, making sure your breath work is in correct sequence to the move itself. So inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Make sure you're looking forward too and not looking down at your feet when you do this. Okay, that's the first part of the movement. Now, that's one direction. So it's not very multi-directional yet. But to add a different direction, I'm going to circle my arms like so. So my arms are going from right to left, and my legs, or my lower half of my body, is going from front to back. So if I add them, marry those two moves together, it'll sort of look like this. So I'm going to swing and lunge, push and circle to the other side. Now when I do this, my arms are pulling me from left to right, but I want to go from front to back. My legs want to go from front to back. So I have a tendency to get pulled this way when I lunge forward because my arms are going that way. So I have to be strong enough through my core to make sure I land forward in control and then push, and as I go that way, it wants to pull me in this direction, which I have to manage. So I'm creating instability that I need to control to do the movement correctly. Again, inhale, exhale. Now it's pretty easy without the weight, But it's really nice to do a few times to understand how to do the sequence correctly. So the goal is to make sure my hands always end up on the outside of my knees. And then when I push back, my arms naturally want to come up and swing to the opposite side. So I've done 3 sets of 10 on each side again. And before I pick up this little ball to do a little bit of a weight bearing load, we're going to go backwards as well. So that looks like this. If I was lunging backwards, I'm going to step, come down, come up. Step back, down, come up. So I'm getting in the same lunge pattern. I'm just, instead of stepping forward, I'm stepping back. Like so. And when I'm doing my circle motion, same rule applies. I want my hands to end up on the outside of the knee. It'll look like this. And it's important to sink down to 90 degrees. So when I lunge, my knee drops almost down to the ground and pushes up. And then when I step back, and that really does get the whole body moving. Like, I'm already starting to get a glow on, a little sweat, which means that I'm now ready to go for a surf because I've warmed up enough. I like to make sure that I get a bit of a glow on before I get the water. That's like my signal that I'm good to go, that I've warmed up. And that whole multi-directional movement really gets my whole body worked up. So now if I want to create a bit of strength, a bit more strength and mobility, make it a bit more challenging for us, I might grab this. It doesn't weigh much, but it definitely does create a bit more of a load, a bit more of a stress for me to manage. So if I'm doing it with the load, I'm going to inhale, push back, circle, circle. And I want to be doing 8 to 10 reps on each side. So in total lunges forward, it could be 18 to 20. And then I might step backwards. And I can even step sideways. And then I can go around the world. Woo! That is epic. So, again, I'm making sure when I do the lunge, I control the descent down, and then I explode on the way up. So I'm inhaling as I lunge forward, or to the side or to the back, and then exhaling as I come back to this square position here. Again, this is the movement that I'm going to be doing when I'm surfing, like so. So a very similar movement right here that we did just then to help build strength and mobility. That multi-directional movement. This is an all-purpose exercise. It's going to cover you for all turns. It's also going to be a great warm-up to do on the beach before you go for a surf. And it's really going to help, essentially, just get the whole body alert and ready to go. And the better you get with this, the more weight you can add, create more strength and mobility. You can go even making it really strong here. I've got a 7-kilo ball. Much harder, much more difficult. But when you get a little bit more comfortable, great way to build a little bit more strength and a little bit more mobility. Hope you guys enjoyed. You.